Good morning, class. Mr. Davis here. Thank you for joining me today. We're now about to dive into our mathematics lesson, and our lesson for today will cover powers of 10. Another way that we can refer to this is patterns of 10 because, like with many things in life, there are definitely patterns to be seen here that will help you along your way. I have handed you each a small packet. In your packet, there will be a T-chart. As you can see here, there's going to be 3 columns. We're going to have column A, and in column A, write notice. We will have column B, and in column B, write know, K-N-O-W. And then in the right column, column C, we are going to write wonder, like what we wonder about, what we would like to know. Now, I'll give you a moment here to complete your T-charts. Once you are done with them, please look to the board at the front of the room here. And I have a small growing by powers of 10 chart for you all to view. All right, is everybody done? Everybody has their T-charts filled in? Make sure you get your names at the top of those as well, please. Now, what I need each of you to do, and we're going to do this as a class, open class discussion, take a peek at the growing by powers of 10 chart we have up here, and I would like each of you to just take notes of things that you notice about our chart here and write them down in your A column, your notice column. Now, I'm going to give you each, just a couple minutes to do that. And once you are finished, we will discuss our notice column together. Alrighty, everybody's ready to go. So who would like to share what they noticed about our growing by powers of 10 chart? Jameson, yes? Yes, the numbers do keep getting bigger in each row as they move. Now, of course, looking at our place value chart here, the numbers are moving backwards, but I see what you're getting at there. Who else would like to share? Stephanie, yes? Yeah, that's correct. So as these numbers progress and as they get bigger, a 0 is being added to them. Can anybody explain why that is? That's correct, because this is base 10. So we're going according to powers of 10. Now, let's think about that, powers of 10. So if we are working by powers of 10, what exactly does that mean? So as you can see, we start here. If we look at the place value chart in the orange section, the very first one is ones. Now, what are we going to do with the ones there to progress into the tens column? That's right, we're going to multiply that 1 by 10. So it's going to be 10 by itself, just 10 times 1. Now, if we want to move that 10 spot higher to the hundreds column, what are we going to do there? That's right, it becomes 10 multiplied by 10 to get to 100. So as you can see there, just with our ones column, the 1 has how many digits? 1. It's just the number 1. And then we add a 0 to that because we're multiplying 1 by 10, and that brings us to our tens column. So now, of course, we're going to add a 0 to the tens column, but what do we multiply by 10 to get to our hundreds column? That's correct, we multiply 10 by 10. So then if we want to move to the thousands, 100 will be multiplied by, correct, 10 to get to 1,000. And then 1,000 times 10 gives us 10,000. And then 10,000 times 10 gives us 100,000. And then we will do the same thing with our millions column. Good job, guys. So does anything else have something they noticed that they would like to share with us? Or should we go ahead and move on? All right, let's go ahead and move to our no column. Now, you guys have pointed out some very important things here with our powers of 10 charts, so I'm hoping that you went ahead and you filled out part of your no column. So what do we know? What do we know? Yes, we are doing all of this according to base 10. So we're going to be working by the power of 10 with our chart here. That's right, we do know that we're going to multiply each number by 10 to progress. So 1 times 10 gives us 10, 10 times 10 gives us 100, 100 times 10 gives us 1,000, and so on. Good job, guys. That's the power of 10 multiplication. Very, very good job. All right, so I need you to keep your chart out there with you. You have your notice column filled out. You have your no column filled out. Once we are completely done with our worksheet here, I need you to please write a couple things, at least a couple things, in your wonder column. What do you wonder about? What do you have questions about? What would you like to know? What stands out to you that may seem a little off that you would like to figure out, that we can figure out as a class even? Now, before we move on to our worksheet, let's just discuss a few things. And based off of what I'm going to ask you, you can continue to fill out your notice, know, and wonder T-chart. So, what is base 10? We just discussed that. So what is base 10? Can anybody explain that to me again? That's right. Base 10 means each of the numbers we're going to be working on here can be done within the number 10 and from the number 10. Now, let's see. If I write up on the board, number 1. All right, so we have the number 1. Now I've put a decimal before that number 1. So what does that number 1 now represent? Does that represent our ones column? Correct. So if I move to the right, if I add another digit on there next to the number 1, let's say I add a 4, so we have a 0.14. What does that 4 represent? What column is that? That's the tens column. That is correct. So let's keep going. Let's add on a few here. What number should I put next? 7. All right, so we put 7. We now have 0.147. What does that 7 represent? Is that the hundreds column? Yeah, that's right. All right, what number next? We're going with 3. All right, so now we have 0.1473. Now, what is that 3? What place is that? Is that that's the thousandths place? You got it. All right, let's do 2. Actually, let's do 3 more digits. So what number next? We're going to put another 1 down. So we have 0.14731. All right, so we have our ones, we have our tens, we have our hundreds. 3 is our thousandths. So what does that next 1 represent? Our 10,000ths. That is correct. All right, so now we'll put a 9. What does that 9 represent? We have 0.147319. That 9 represents the 100,000ths column. You got it. And then let's go one more. We want a 5. So 0.1473195. Now what's that 5 represent? Is that the millions column? It is. So that 5 represents the millions. Now, of course, this is a decimal. So this number that we've written down here, 0.1473195, that number itself is less than the number 1, right? Yeah, that's correct. Now, let's see here. What if we were to move our decimal? What if we took that decimal and now we move that decimal all the way to the right of the number 5 there? Oop. So now we have 1473195. So what does our number become? What is our number now? That's right, 1,004,000. 473,195. You guys see how that all comes together right there? Now we took our number from a decimal, a very, very small number, and just by moving that decimal over, what, 6 spots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm sorry, 7 spots, we now have a giant number. So we worked on our decimal places here, base 10 format. So now that now that the decimal is here on the right side, what place is this? That's our millions, you got it. And then this one, 100,000s, 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens, ones. That makes sense? You guys see the pattern there? Fantastic. Good job, guys. All right, so let's see here. Now, I just mentioned that we have, you guys said you saw the pattern there. Can anybody explain to me what exactly the pattern is? Patterns of 10, base 10. You got it, powers of 10. So each number is representative of a 10 spot. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 million. And we could keep going if we really wanted to, but we're going to be going for a while if we do that. Good job, guys. Just a couple more things I'd like to discuss, and then I will let you begin work on your worksheets. Can anybody explain to me what standard form is? Yeah, that's right. Standard form is the regular way a number looks. It's the standard form of the number. So if you look at your growing by powers of 10 chart up here on the board, standard form, we have 1,000, just the number 1,000. That's exactly what it is in standard form. So now, if we wanted to break that down into expanded form by power of 10, what exactly would it be? What do we multiply together to get 1,000? We take 100 and we multiply it by 10. So then if we break that down even further, what do we have? How do you get 100? 10 times 10, correct. And then if what do we multiply that by to get 1,000? 10 again. So as you see up here, expanded form is breaking it down and writing the numbers to see the math value of each individual digit of each tens place on our chart. So 1,000 in expanded form would be 10 times 10 times 10. Good job, guys. All right, and then final question. Can anybody explain what the base number is? What a base number is? That's right, base number. So base number is our big number. It's our standard, it's our regular number. So why is that important? If we look down here on our powers of 10 chart, we have here in row 1, 10. And actually, this is all on your guys' worksheets. So if you want to take a closer look, go ahead and pull out your worksheet and your powers of 10 form there. So 10 is our base number. Do we know what this little number up here is, this little 0? That's our exponent. Do we know what that means? What is an exponent? That is what you're multiplying your base number by. So what would 10 multiplied by 0 be? That's right. It'd be 0. What's 10 multiplied by 10? 100, correct. So the 0 here, 10 by 10, you're not multiplying it by anything else. So it's just going to still be 10. It's going to be your 1 spot. Now, what I would like you to do to finish up the lesson here is please fill out your powers of 10 form there. You each will have this form, and you please fill that out. And then once you have completed that, I would like you to please include a few more things in your T-chart under your wonder column. And then once everyone is finished, we will open up the floor for people to be able to express and talk about their wonder columns, answer any questions we may have, and then we'll get everything wrapped up. Thank you very much, class.